Franz von Kearney, writings by Frank Schmidt on the Danube Swabian people. These collected writings are republished in memory of the author, Frank Schmidt, so that others may continue to enjoy his work. May his spirit live on. Partition of Danube Swabian land. In the wake of the Hungarian Revolution, the young Emperor Franz Josef feared that the Habsburgs might lose Hungary altogether. So, in 1867, a compromise was reached, the so-called Ausgleich Equalization, the union of two major Habsburg realms to form Austria-Hungary. In the process, Hungary became virtually independent, united with Austria only in the person of the Emperor King. Franz Josef I was forced to accept a union that gave the Magyars, 48% of the population, predominance over all other nationalities in the country. In the process, he signed away some of the rights Emperor Charles V had granted the German colonists. By 1905, German, which had been the language of instruction in German communities, was replaced with Hungarian. No one could get a job with the government, the railways, or other national institutions, nor take part in the Olympic Games without adopting a Hungarian name. Consequently, the Danube Swabian community lost many of its more educated members. From 1867 to 1918, Greater Hungary made enormous strides in agriculture and industry. Largely due to the Danube Swabians, this former backwater of Europe became a Western-oriented society, a major breadbasket of the world, and an emerging industrial power. Prior to 1918, the story of the Danube Swabians was entwined with the history of Hungary. However, Hungary was on the losing side in World War I, and consequently lost two-thirds of its territory, which was awarded by the victors to the newly created successor states, Romania, and a royal dictatorship called Yugoslavia after 1929. Hungary's partitioning dealt a severe blow to the Danube Swabians, for it split their settlements into three parts and delivered them to three chauvinistic, mutually antagonistic states. Only 700,000 Danube Swabians remained in Hungary, 350,000 became Romanian, and the remaining 550,000 became the German national minority in Yugoslavia. This caused enormous social as well as economic problems. Farmers found that their fields were across an arbitrary border drawn by the victorious allies in a Paris suburb. In some towns, the frontier ran through the middle of the main street, and people could no longer attend their parish church or send their children to school because they were now in another, invariably unfriendly country. This made a mockery of the principle of self-determination publicly espoused by President Wilson to placate his own people. But as we know, there was never the slightest intention to put it into practice. However, Danube Swabians are an adaptable lot, and in time, people adjusted to the new conditions, albeit with some reluctance, and life went on much as before. We truly appreciate your time spent listening to this captivating episode delving into the history of the Donauschwaben on the Franz von Kearney YouTube channel. Our content is richly inspired by the insightful writings of Frank Schmidt, unraveling the fascinating narrative of the Danube Swabians. If this episode resonated with you, we kindly invite you to show your support by liking, subscribing, and sharing it with your fellow Donauschwaben relatives, friends, and social clubs. Anyone with an interest in the captivating history of the Danube Swabians. These little things really do help a new channel out. If you're interested in more information on the Donauschwaben or this episode, explore the show notes below for links and related material. Once again, we extend our heartfelt gratitude for tuning in. Until next time.
Wir sind Donauschwaben.